Hey guys, today we're going to talk about Apple pencils and styluses for your iPad. I purchased these two styluses from Amazon to try out and see how they compare to my Apple Pencil Generation 2. The first one I picked up, it's called the Stylus Pen. It seems to be the one that's the most popular, talked about online. Let's open this up. So it comes in some pretty good packaging. Has a flat edge, just like the Apple Pencil. Looks like it charges there. I like this little case that it goes on. The tip is pretty similar to an Apple Pencil. Here's the charger. So it has the USB, and then this must go here. Yep. And it also comes with some extra tips. Okay, and a user guide, yay. All right, so this one has an on and off button. So it does have a charge associated with it that you have to turn it on to use it appropriately. I don't hate how this one feels, so let's try it out. So the first thing it says you have to do is to go into your settings and go to the Apple Pencil settings, and you want to basically disconnect your Apple Pencil. So I'm going to click off only draw with the Apple Pencil, and I'm going to go up here to my Bluetooth and I'm going to disconnect my Apple Pencil. Okay, so I have a new canvas in Procreate. Looks like, okay, so it's on. Doesn't require any other connection, so let's see. Oh, okay, well there you go. So actually, it writes pretty smoothly. I don't hate how it writes. Let's try a different brush. So here's the problem with pencils that are not Apple pencils. You'll see that if I were using my Apple Pencil, depending on how I pushed, I would get wider lines and then thinner lines, giving it a really hand-lettered look. With this one, you seemingly only get one option. So I've been reading online that you can use it and angle your pencil to change it. So let's try this angle thing. So if I hold it straight up and down, okay, let's try it like, yeah. So if you turn it too far, of course, it starts skipping because it's not connecting anymore. I don't think that's the best option here. So obviously you can change the brush size, but there's no way for this pencil to create that hand-lettered effect. So if you are painting, it's gonna be tough to get the dimension and the shading and the size that you want. So let's try this out for note-taking. So I've created a new note. This is just a notes app. It comes with your iPad, computer, whatever. I actually use this a lot because I can sync it from here to my iPhone to my MacBook. I use this a lot for note-taking, and honestly for this pencil, it writes pretty nice. I think that I could definitely use this to just take notes. Like if I didn't want to take my Apple Pencil somewhere because I was afraid I'd lose it, like not a bad idea. So in all, I think I'd definitely recommend this one if you're just taking notes. If you want to use this one for Procreate, I would say no. To become proficient in Procreate, you really need a brush that does what Procreate is supposed to do. You can definitely tell that the Apple Pencil was designed to work with Procreate. So this is the second one that I grabbed from Amazon. It's called the Mixu Stylus. Let's open this up. I really purchased this one, number one, because it came in pink. Number two, it was only 10 bucks. So for someone shopping on a budget, you can't really get any better than that. So this one is a little different because it's basically just a stylus. There's nothing here. There's no on button. There's no way to charge it, which means there's also, you don't have to connect it to your iPad via Bluetooth. Really, it's just a tool to draw. So this one has a more traditional stylus end like you would see on, you know, a pen you'd pick up anywhere. This one has like a microfiber, so you don't have to worry about it scratching your iPad, which is nice. And on the other end, it has this disc, and from what I've read, it allows it to connect to the iPad with a little bit more sensitivity. So let's check this one out. So here I am, I'm back in Procreate. I still have my Apple Pencil turned off and I have it disconnected. And because this one doesn't connect, I expect it to, one, work just like a stylus, and two, probably not have the pressure sensitivity either. So, oops, let's turn that brush off. I'll go back to the monoline. So kind of the same thing. It's not as smooth when you're writing. I feel like it's not connected as much, so my letters are not as precise as I could make them with the other stylus or my Apple Pencil. But I mean, you can see overall it writes okay, so decent. But again, oh, if you push down a little bit, it'll pick up the background color, which is kind of cool. So let's try a brush with the pressure sensitivity. This one I can 100% is not going to do it because it doesn't connect to your iPad. So again, oh, I have the other color on. So again, this one, you can see it kind of wants to create a little bit of a script. This actually works a little bit better, and you can see right here at the end, it did create a little bit of a script. So that's interesting because obviously I'm not doing anything except connecting this disc to it. But again, like if I'm trying to create a brush script, you need to be able to push down and create a bigger line. So depending on which way you go, I'm still creating. The only thing that's really changing is if I lessen my pressure, you can see sometimes I get these little points. Yeah, this one, it's pretty much the same as the Stylus Pen. For $10, it really is not that much different. So let's try it in the Notes app and see how it works over there. So I'm back in the Notes app and I'm using the stylus again. Let's see how this one works. Oh, well, that's interesting. It's not doing anything except grabbing. Let's make sure my pencil is on. It is. Okay, let's move this down here. Oh, wait, I see a mark there. Okay, so maybe my pencil wasn't selected. I always try to double tap on Notes. So this one is much harder to get the small details. Like I'm trying to write within one line and it's pretty tough. Yeah, that doesn't look like my handwriting at all. Okay, so this one, if you're just looking for a basic stylus and you really, you just want to make big letters, because look, if I make it big, it's definitely easier. But otherwise, I'd say this one is probably not worth more than a pen you could pick up at the dollar store. So let's talk about the Apple Pencil for a second. Like I said, this is generation 2, and it is expensive. It is about $120 or so. You can get it on Amazon or, of course, at the Apple Store. But it definitely is a pretty impressive piece of technology. So let's go back in, and I'll show you how quickly this will connect. So I'm going to turn my Bluetooth back on. As you can see, my Apple Pencil is not connected anymore. In the Apple Pencil settings, I'm going to go back in and I'm going to turn on, move it down so you can see it. I'm going to turn back on only draw with your Apple Pencil. So I took the case off of my iPad so you could see how easy it is. When you connect your Apple Pencil to the side, it has a magnet on it, and it immediately, without me doing anything, connected my Apple Pencil via Bluetooth to my iPad and starts charging. That alone is such a lifesaver. And now if I go back to settings, you can see that my Apple Pencil is connected. You can set a double tap. And these are kind of the perks of having Apple Pencil. I don't really use them a lot. The one thing I do have checked is I can actually switch between whatever tool I'm using, whether it be in Procreate or in Notes. And if I double tap the top of my Apple Pencil, then it will switch between that and the eraser. So instead of having to click, I just do that. But again, you know, nothing that exciting. Where you really see the difference is when you go into Procreate. And we talked a lot about the pressure sensitivity with this. So let's try it out. So when you're using a brush like Monoline, you're not really worrying about what the line looks like. It's the same thickness no matter what you do. But when you're using an Apple Pencil and you use a brush like the Script, depending on how hard you push down on your Apple Pencil, you can get a thick line or you can get a thin line. I'm not doing anything except changing how hard I push down. It doesn't seem like a lot, but whenever you're trying to write, you know, you can vary it. Sorry, I had to take a break for a second. So if you heard the kids screaming, I did go check on them. So when you're using the script brush again, I'm gonna turn down the size a little bit. So if I'm writing, my layer is there. Let's clear it up. So when you're writing, I can change what my brush size is doing based on the direction that I'm going. So when I'm writing, you can see that I'm getting a little thicker parts of my letters, a little thinner part. And that's how you can get that traditional hand lettering look just by using the Apple Pencil. And it may not seem like a big deal, but if hand lettering is something you want to get into, then this pretty much is a necessity. In addition to that, I use it a lot when I'm shading or blending or adding details to my drawings. It allows me to have a little bit more control over what I'm doing. So definitely if you want to become proficient in using Procreate, or you want to sell your artwork, or you want to create custom files to use with your Cricut, using something like the Apple Pencil is going to give you a much more professional and buyable end product. It's going to look like you bought it or you created it from a font. So definitely, if you want to use Procreate 100%, buy the Apple Pencil. You know, consider it an investment in your business or an investment in your creativity, and keep going. But let's just recap all the pencils again. So here are the three styluses we have. My Apple Pencil with the pineapple silicone sleeve. I'm gonna put all of these links to them in the description, so that way you can check out this, and all of them are available on Amazon, or you can grab this one at the Apple Store. This is, again, Generation 2. It costs about $120-ish. I think it's a little bit cheaper on Amazon right now. This is the Stylus Pen. This is the one that does connect and have a little bit of power. This one retails on Amazon for a little over $30. I think when I got it, it was $34, but of course, you know how things on Amazon change. And this one, which is the Mixu Stylus, was $10 on Amazon. So if I were just taking notes, say I'm a student, I just want to write some stuff in my iPad, I don't really have any interest in drawing or hand lettering or anything like that, I really think this is a great option. It's only 30 bucks, so it's basically $100 cheaper than the Apple Pencil. It does connect with a good bit of sensitivity because of it having, like, I guess it's like a capacitor in it. Somebody can probably correct me on that. So it's pretty sensitive, and I can take similar notes with it than I could with my Apple Pencil. Like, I would be happy with this if I didn't know any different. So consider this a pretty good option. I know a lot of you have them from my TikTok page because this one comes up a lot, and I don't hate it. This is something that I could definitely give one of my kids to use, or if I just wanted to take notes again and leave my Apple Pencil in my bag while I was traveling or whatever, this, I wouldn't feel so bad if I lost it. And it connected pretty easy. As long as you turned your Apple Pencil off, it was ready to go. This guy, on the other hand, I'm not so sure about it. It wrote okay in Procreate as long as I was using like a monoline. It wasn't quite as sensitive, but as far as taking notes, I couldn't get the detail that I wanted. I'm not keeping this one, but I would say the advantage of it, again, is it's $10. So if you're just taking some basic notes and you just kind of want to have a stylus, if you want to try it out, I think, you know, it's a great idea. I do like that this has like a cover. And actually, remember, this one came with a cover too. So I think that's definitely something that these two have on the Apple Pencil. Like, this is $100 and some. It wouldn't be a bad idea to cover that sucker up. Again, Apple Pencil connects really easily. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to change any settings if you want to. You just pop it on the outside of your iPad and you're ready to go. So I'm gonna definitely stick with my Apple Pencil, and I encourage that if it's something you're looking into doing a little bit more with, to, you know, save up and get it. And I think you'll be really happy with it. Just double check the model of Apple Pencil that is compatible with your iPad. If you've watched my other videos, you know this is a 2020 edition iPad Pro, the 12.9 inch. This is the Apple Pencil Generation 2. These two are compatible. The Apple Pencil 1 is compatible with older. And I do have an Apple Pencil 1 and an older iPad, and they work great. If you're just learning, it is a great idea to pick up maybe a refurbished iPad, or, you know, just a smaller version. You don't need an iPad Pro, depending on, you know, what year model it is. So, you know, explore it, have fun, be creative. You know, don't feel like, oh, I need to be the most professional person to start with. But if you want to use Procreate, kind of skip this. Instead of buying 2 or 3 of these, buy one of those. All right, guys, we'll be back with another video soon.